What's going on, guys? Thanks for coming back to this video. If this is the first time for you, my name is Jason, and of course I'm here to help you with your spreadsheet. On today's video, I'm going to be doing a quick recap of the sales tab. So if you've got my spreadsheet, pull yours up in front of you, and let's go ahead and get into it, and I'll show you exactly some common mistakes that people make and how to fix those, but as well as different ways to log sales refunds and things like that. So let's jump into it. Okay, here's my sheet. You'll notice I've got a few sales already pulled in just for like recording purposes. I'm going to go ahead and go through at least 4 different things from questions that I've gotten from viewers. I've gotten some similar questions on scenarios that come up, and I figured a short video is a quick way to do this to show you. So thanks for following along. Let's get into it. So first thing I'm going to do is just show you how to log a sale. So if you're new to my spreadsheet and you maybe haven't entered any sales at all and you just found this video, let me show you how to do that real quick. So I'm going to go to the active tab and assume that one of these sold. So I've got a handful of items listed here, just some bogus data. Let's just assume that one of these sold. So I'm actually going to take this last line here, 9/20/22, these women's Chaco sandals. Let's pretend they sold on eBay. Okay, so you've got all of your inventory here on this tab. You're going to find the item that sold. A quick way to do that, in case you're not familiar, is to hit Command F, which I believe on like a PC, a non-Apple version would be Control F, and that will pull up this bar. And then you can just type in Chaco or whatever keyword you're looking for, and you'll notice that it pulls up this line. It's going to pull up everything that all the lines that identify with that exact spelling. So that's a quick way to do it. Control F, Command F, those are great tools. To log this sale, we're going to go ahead and copy this line. Now, in order to do this, we're going to start with the first column here, listed date, all the way over to cost. That's all you need to copy. So Control C or Command C, whatever it is for you, will copy that line. And then you're going to come over to sales. You're going to find the next line. So if this is blank for you, start on the first line. It's not blank for me, so I'm going to start on the next line. We're going to enter in here the date, the year, and then we're going to do the date. Let's do today's date. Sorry, we're not in June anymore. We're in July. Average days to sell, you're going to leave that alone. Or sorry, days to sell. It's not average. You're going to leave it alone. So don't put any numbers in there. If you enter something in that column, it's going to kind of throw off the rest of the formulas. It's not a huge deal. It's an easy fix, but just don't do it. Okay, so let's skip that. We're going to go next. We said these sold on eBay, and today is the 3rd of July. So I'm going to put in 7/3 and then hit tab on my keyboard, and you'll notice it automatically puts in the year. You don't need to do the year. It should just automatically populate. Now, once you get to listed date, you'll notice that this column, listed date, is the same as this column, listed date, and we've already copied the line. So I'm just going to hit Control V or Command V, again, whichever one it is for you, and it will paste it in there. So you've got listed date, your item title, unit, the bin. You've got the store that you bought it at. For me, this would be the discount bin store. You've got the category. Okay, this is women's shoes. And then it automatically pulls in the cost, the amount that you spent on that item to purchase it from wherever you got it, whether it was a yard sale, Goodwill, whatever. So now all we need to do is enter in a few little details. So sale price, what did this sell for, not including shipping? So let's say that I got $25 for these Chacos, and let's just pretend that the shipping on these was $9. So I collected $25 for the shoes. I collected $9 for shipping. That's a total of $34. That's all the money that I collected. Now you'll notice that these, I typically have these 2 columns centered, but for some reason when I put these in, they didn't center. So if you just highlight these columns and then come up here to the top and you can hit center, you'll notice that it centers it very nice. So if that's something that bugs you, that's a quick, easy fix there. Okay, so we've entered in the money that we've taken in. Okay, so now we're going to just enter in the small fees that we have here. So you're going to go to eBay's site and you're going to pull up that transaction and you're going to get the fees. Let's just assume that the fees on this were $3 for eBay selling fee, and let's assume they sold promoted listing for $1.75 promoted listing fee. Okay, I'm going to enter those in. When you do that, you'll notice that your profit here starts to calculate. your total fees calculates. Your total fees are taking into consideration these 4 fees right here. So it's going to add these up, and it's going to subtract all of these fees so far, $14.65, from your total income. So 34 minus $14.65 gives you $19.35. The only other fee we haven't added in here would be the shipping. So typically I'll put in the fees in here, and then when I go to ship the item, I go ahead and put in the cost that I paid to ship. In this case, I'm going to pretend that the shipping cost was $8.30, which would be the cost of a padded flat rate envelope. And you'll notice that it changed the profit on that too. After you enter the sale, you'll notice it pulls in your profit. The only thing you need to do now would be to go and find this line that has the item that you just sold and delete it out. So I would come in here, highlight this row 66 on my sheet, right click and delete row, and it's out, okay? This is my active inventory. So I delete out those items that sell because it's no longer in my inventory. It's been shipped out. So that's how you log a sale on eBay. Pretty simple stuff. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'd be happy to help you out. A little trickier scenario. Let's pretend it's sold on Poshmark. Okay, so I'm going to take the same shoes, the same listing here, the same item for this next example, just to keep it simple. We're going to keep everything the same. We'll put in July. You notice you can type it in or you can select it from the arrow, either way. But let's say that it's sold on Poshmark, sold on 7/3. And now we're going to copy and paste, or we already copied. Now we're going to paste in here that same item. Okay, so we've got a Poshmark sale here. Okay, so we're going to pretend that they sold for the same amount, $25 on Poshmark. The difference here on Poshmark from eBay is that Poshmark collects shipping for you from the buyer and pays it out. So you don't do anything with shipping because that's just how Poshmark is set up. So in this case, I'm going to leave this shipping collected blank. So you only fill out this shipping collected column when you are actually collecting money for shipping. I didn't go over this in the last scenario, but if you're doing free shipping on eBay, in this last example, you would have just done $25 and you would not have put anything in here because it's free shipping. So let's move on. I've kind of gone over that in detail, so hopefully that makes sense. If not, reach out and I'll hopefully clarify that for you. Let's skip shipping costs for right now. Let's go to platform fee. Poshmark is pretty simple in that it's 20% of your sales price. So 20% of this $25 sales price is $5. For Poshmark, I've got a 20% fee of $5. And in this case, that could be it for me. I've got the amount that I collected, the amount that I paid, the amount that I spent at the thrift store, and the amount that I paid Poshmark for their selling fee. And that leaves me with $10.10 profit. But let's take it a step further because this is a question I've gotten many times, as well as the others. What happens if you sell on Poshmark and you give discounted shipping? Maybe you sent an offer that the buyer accepted, and that offer was for $5.95 discounted shipping. What I would do in this column is I would put the amount of the discount that you gave them. So if, and I don't know Poshmark's exact numbers on this, so we're just going to come up with a scenario here. But let's say that Poshmark charges the buyer $7 for shipping, and you gave them a discounted shipping rate of $5.95. Well, Poshmark is going to come to you and collect that $1.05. I'm going to put that here because that's an extra fee that I incurred. You're going to put the selling fee here and the discounted fee here. You don't have to break them out either. You could just come here and put a total fee of $6.05 in this column and move on. Either way, it's going to work. You'll notice that you'll have the same profit at the very end. It's not going to throw off the sheet or anything like that. As long as you have your total fees accounted for in these two columns, then your sheet will be accurate and you'll be fine. Hope that makes sense for you. That's how you log a Poshmark fee. And really quickly, for sites like Mercari or Depop, where you have two fees, you've got a selling fee, but you also have a transaction fee. You can put those as one fee together, so you can add them together and just put them in this platform fee. That's what I do. Or you can break them apart and put them in two different fees. Don't get thrown off by a promoted fee here. I did that because a lot of people sell on eBay and they have a promoted fee. But for places like Mercari and Depop, and other sites I'm sure as well. You can just add them together and do one fee or two separate fees. Now let's talk about how you enter a refund. Now, some of this is repetitive. Some of this is on the first tutorial video that I gave you. So if that's the case, you can skip ahead because I did cover that here, but this is just kind of a refresher for those of you like myself who, when I first started messing around with this sheet and putting in sales and refunds, I had to kind of go back and remember, how do I do this? Because it's different than the way that I did it in previous years. When it comes to a refund, let's take this one that we just logged on. Actually, let's do the one on eBay because I don't really get returns on Poshmark. So let's take this one on eBay. Let's say that this person reached out and said, hey, got the shoes, they don't fit, I'd like to return them, and your store offers returns. Okay, so you're gonna leave this sale alone. According to eBay's eyes, you've recorded transactions, so you're gonna leave that in your spreadsheet. You're gonna come down to the next available line. And what you're gonna do is enter in the year. So you only need 4 pieces of information: the year, the month that you're actually giving the refund. You may have made the sale in July, but maybe it's August now. You've got the item back and you're giving the refund. And let's just say that it is. If it's August, go ahead and put August in here. And then I'm gonna do, you can put whatever you want, but I always do refund and then women's Chaco sandals. So I just kind of describe what I'm giving the refund for on eBay. So I've got 3 of the 4 pieces of information: the year, the month, the item, and then you're gonna go all the way to this refund column, the very last column here. And you're gonna put the amount that the refund is for. Whenever you process the refund, eBay will tell you how much of a refund came out of your funds. That's the number you'll put right here in this column. Let's assume that the refund is for $22.95 because I got some of the fees back. So I'm gonna put in here negative $22.95. And when I go to my monthly tab, I don't know if you'll be able to see this here because it's populating all the refunds, but it will get accumulated here in this column for the total amount of refunds that I've logged for the month of August. There's 2 more things I want to talk to you about. Probably the most common question I've got on this sheet are these little red triggers here. You'll notice when I log a sale that I get a red arrow in each of these 2 columns, the store and the category. This invalid code is okay. It's not throwing off your sheet. It's not messing up the data. Hopefully that wasn't confusing. But now let's get into the last thing I want to talk about on the sales tab. One common thing that I've seen is when users are logging a sale. Let's say I'm logging a new sale for, let's say we're in August now, like we did with the last one. So I've got this sale in here. I've noticed that some people are automatically calculating the days to sell on their own, thinking they need to calculate that when this is a formula. And this isn't going to be right. Let's just throw a number out there. Let's say it was 200 days to sell, and they're calculating that and putting it in here. Well, what you notice is when I typed in the 200 right here, it automatically got rid of all of this information. So let's undo that. So you can see right here, days to sell is calculated based on the day that it sold minus the day that it was listed to give you an automatic number. That number pops up in this cell when you put money into this cell. So if I were to enter a sales price here of 25, you'll notice it automatically calculated 317. So some people aren't putting the amount that it sold for in here, and they're going, how come this didn't calculate? And then they're coming in here, calculating it and putting that number in manually. If you do that, you'll notice it wipes out all of the days to sell in this whole column. And if I go all the way to the top, you can see it's got an error here, and it's saying, hey, something happened, but the formula is messed up now. And this has happened many times. It's a simple fix. It's not a big deal for me because typically when people get this, I go, okay, it's gonna take me 3 seconds to fix it. But now I wanna show you how to do it so that if this does happen in the future, you know how to fix it. If for some reason if your days to sell column is off and all the information has disappeared, it means you probably accidentally or intentionally put a number in this column somewhere and it's throwing off the rest of the formulas. So we know that it's here in cell C397 because I just entered that in. But if you go to the top and you find this ref and you toggle over it or highlight it, it will tell you basically array, the formula was not expanded because it could not or would not overwrite the data in cell 397. So that's telling you that, hey, something was entered in 397. We need to get rid of that so that the formula will come back. So we're going to go all the way down to cell 397 and C. And I'm just going to simply highlight that, delete it. And you'll notice when I scroll up, it recalculates the days to sell for this whole column, and then it's back. You'll notice that error message is no longer there. So I see that in days to sell, and that's one way to fix it. I also see it in total fees. Some people have calculated this on their own, or they've accidentally hit, like, let's say they hit a period in there and they didn't mean to, but they accidentally hit it when they were hitting tab or space or something, and they get a message here that says error value. Simple way to fix that too. Scroll all the way back up to the top, find the error message, and it says ref here. And again, it's telling you in the column R397, you've got an extra digit or something that you entered there over the formula, and we can't calculate it. And if I look at this one too, profit and loss, it's telling you the same thing, R397. So scroll down to column R, 397, highlight it, delete it, and guess what? All of your formulas populate again, correcting the mistake that you made. So this video was a little longer today than some of the shorter videos I've been putting out, but I think those are probably 2 or 3 common questions I get on the sales tab that I think could be kind of dispelled here really quickly for you in case you got that. So hopefully that helped you today. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to subscribe and like this video if you did find it helpful. Make sure to hit the bell down here so that you get notified when I post more videos like this. I've been putting out quite a bit of Google Sheet tutorials to help people with their spreadsheet because it is complex and it does involve some learning to do in order to fill this sheet out and get the most out of its features. So thank you for watching. We'll catch you on another video. This is Jason signing off. Goodbye.